boy policeman a come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip bop, police a come and the gal a holla murder. Bip bop, police a come and the gal a holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gal a holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gal a holla murder. Bip bop, police a come and the gal a holla murder. Bip bop, police a come and the gal a holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeezy love up.
Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy,
You better run.
Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come. Sanko,
You better run.
Sanko,
Police are come.
Sanko,
You better run.
Sanko.
Police are come.
Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko licky love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko kissy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy,
You better run.
Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come. Sanko,
You better run.
Sanko,
Police are come.
Sanko,
You better run.
Sanko.
Police are come.
Police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko chasey love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko catchy love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko squeezy love up on the dam and the gala holla murder.
Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Sanko lefty love upon the dam and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Bip, bop, police are come and the gala holla murder. Sanko boy,
You better run.
Sanko boy, police are come. Sanko boy, you better run. Sanko boy, policeman are come.
Hello, this is attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington law firm located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.
Mr. Mark, I believe every word of what Mr. Shu is saying. I am also afraid of Mr. Shu. Mr. Shu, if you are listening, I don't want anybody to harm you. This is a serious thing. Corruption is big. And we Chinese have to stop that. Been bullied by Jack Deal and other government official to pay bribe. It's big all over Guyana. A Chinese to pay by bribe. Mr. Shu, I hope you to stay strong. Do not. We respect and salute you for your bravery, for coming up and speak against corruption in Guyana. Thank you, Mr. Shu. We appreciate you, Mr. Mark. 马克，我相信每一句苏先生说的话。我现在很担心苏先生。苏先生，如果你在听我说话，我不想任何人威胁你。圭亚那政府腐败很严重，这个是很严重的事情。我们中国人必须停止被那些政府用武力行贿。苏先生，我希望你能继续你的发表，也希望你在新的一年万事如意。
All right, not to panic, we're here, and we are live and direct. It's 13 minutes, yes, 13 minutes after 9 o'clock in beautiful Guyana. The time, Eastern Standard Time, wherever else you are. We just say good evening to all of you, and we thank you so much for sharing the link as we get ready to share the links right here on 107.1 FM. All right, so what's happening? You guys already got the news. We are just at 9 o'clock, so by the time we get on at 9, you would have already heard that Sarah Ann Lynch, the U.S. ambassador to Guyana, has wrapped up her tour, and she issued a statement to say, thank you to all you beautiful Guyanese people. Thank you to all the beautiful Guyanese people. And so Sarah Ann Lynch is gone. I repeat, Sarah Ann Lynch is gone on her own accord. Nobody chased her out. You know, you hear a lot of singing and swinging and whistling and who's got to go and who don't have to go. But Sarah Ann Lynch has gone on her own accord. And according to Sarah Ann Lynch, she is leaving Guyana, a beautiful, beautiful place and lots of good things in store. Now, I had to laugh at that part because not a heck of a lot of good things are in store under this corrupt installed PPP regime. I repeat, not a lot of good things in store under this corrupt PPP regime headed by a bunch of vagabonds. And Sarah Ann Lynch, is aware of those vagabonds in office. But guess who is coming to Guyana? Let me see if you guys know the name of the incoming U.S. ambassador. And you guys got to become familiar with her because as soon as she hits the streets in Guyana, We don't want her just around Stabrook Market, bussing a water coconut, or just going to places like Triumph and Unity and Charity. Sarah Ann Lynch, the U.S. soon to be former U.S. ambassador to Guyana, she went a lot of places, but we wanted to see her in places like Philippi, Alnis, Blackbush, Eversham, Epsom, Agricola, uh, where else? Ituni, Kokwani, and those places. They're parts of Guyana too. And so, Sarah Ann Lynch went all over. We wanted to see her in those places, but she's gone. Bye-bye. We wish her all the best, though. That's not the end you will be seeing or hearing from Sarah Ann Lynch, mind you. It's not the end. She's going someplace else. And that's someplace else that she goes to. She'll definitely have to deal with Guyana. She'll deal with the Caribbean and South American countries and so forth and so on. So while you might want to wave her and say goodbye, some of you may want to curse. Some of you may want to say thank you. Some of you may want to say thank God. Whatever it is that you have to say. Let me just say that it's not the end of Sarah Ann Lynch. She has another position somewhere else. Another position somewhere else, but this is straight up, right? All right, so who is going to be in Guyana? The new ambassador, incoming ambassador, Ambassador Nicole Theriot. All the way she came, she was stationed in Pakistan. She was the head of the consular section. She knows a heck of a lot about immigration. And many of you know from experience that the backlog at the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown is huge. The line is long. It has divided families in so many ways, shape, and form that even family members are waiting for an appointment over 15 years, over 10 years. And this is something that I wish that the incoming ambassador, as soon as she presents her letter of credentials, that she hits her desk to start addressing the issue of that long backlog they have with immigrant visas, appointments, and so forth. Many folks have already passed the age of 21. They have aged out, as they call it. And so with her background, with her experience, we just want to say, deal with the backlog of those cases, Madam Ambassador. And also we want to see you all over the country with everyone doing what you're there to do, which is to ensure that you look after the interest of the American people. Of course, that's what ambassadors are there for. Ambassadors are not there to look after the political interest of those who are in Sophia or those who are on Robb Street, if you know what I mean. They're there to ensure that they look after the interest of the country they're there to represent. And you guys cannot get angry at that, because we have a puppet as an ambassador in Washington, D.C., Guyana's ambassador to Washington, D.C., Sam Hines. God in heaven knows what he does there. God in heaven knows whose interest is he representing. Is it Guyana, or he's just there to sit down and relax? Sit down and relax and receive pension and salaries and so forth. He is just a waste of time there. So you guys don't get angry when you hear whether it's the British High Commissioner, whether it's the Canadian High Commissioner, that they do whatever it is in their country's interest. Now, there's something else that I want to talk about, though. Ambassadors or high commissioners of other countries, specifically the U.S., and we want to focus on the U.S., is when human rights violations. They've got to address human rights violations, political persecution, persecutions and so forth. Those are things that we love to hear the U.S. ambassador, the incoming U.S. ambassador, to address. Those issues of human rights violations, political violations, and persecutions and so forth, and racial discrimination should not be tolerated by these pakus in the installed regime. By these pakus in the installed regime. That's what it is. That's what it is about. And so we want to wish this incoming ambassador well. We want to wish the incoming ambassador well. And so we need to hear from her. And we will be hearing from her. We will be hearing from her indeed. And enough of the points that we want the new ambassador to cover. But for now, we have other issues to talk about. Other issues to talk about indeed. But I just can't wait to say welcome. Welcome to Guyana, Nicole. Welcome to Guyana at this point in time. At this point in time. At this point in time. Yep. So sorry about the distraction. We have other things to touch on this evening as we welcome all of you. Look at what's happening in Guyana. Look at what's happening. I want you guys to take a keen look at this. Look at what's happening in Guyana. Just take a look. 20 died in road accidents in the last 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks, 20 persons died in Guyana. 20, take a look. And this is just road accidents, guys. Just road accidents. In less than 2 weeks, we're not talking about murders and so forth. Can somebody in the audience say, what on earth is happening in Guyana? What is happening in Guyana? 20 persons in less than 2 weeks. Road accidents, speeding, you name it. These SOBs in office are not going to get it. They just do not know how to govern. They should have already got, the motorbikes, the highway patrol motorbikes, and have these officers, they got to go through lie detector tests often. We do not want traffic police to be taking bribes. But this corrupt regime, they just do not give a damn about people. I agree with you guys. It is scary. These things are unacceptable, and they have to have proper laws in place to address this issue of speeding, officers taking bribes, and the wrong set of senior officers in positions. But it is the PPP regime. That is what it's about. It is the PPP regime. That is what these people are about. I don't know. But if you're now joining me, my name is Mark Benchap. And look, I just want to say, going back to these folks, condolences to the family. A little girl, another little girl. A student of President's College died recently. A student of President's College. I don't know. Reduce the speed. I don't know we just got to probably find a way to vote these pakus out of office. Every day there's problems in Guyana, serious problems in Guyana, every single day, every day. And it's not getting any better. No matter what the IMF tried to say or the IDB about what is improved, there's nothing. I don't know what information these guys are getting, but nothing in Guyana is improving other than headaches, other than corruption, other than political discrimination, racial discrimination, political persecutions, and so forth. All these things are happening. And I hope the new ambassador will reach out to all sides, everyone. It doesn't matter. Not just wine and dine with the PACUs, the PPP PACUs. And I know if the new ambassador is watching, she might turn to one of her folks and say, "What is PACUs?" Well, Madam Ambassador, I can tell you what PACU is. PACU is these individuals who are in office. So if the new ambassador to Guyana is watching and she wants to know what is the definition of PACU, well, this is a PACU. He happens to be sitting as the vice president of Guyana, one of the most corrupt individuals in the world is this guy, a PACU. And then there's another PACU. Well, he might prefer to be addressed as a catfish PACU, if ever there's any such thing as a catfish PACU, right? So we just want the new ambassador to Guyana to learn these Guyanese lingos, Paku, Katahar, Korhi, Chamar. Take a look, Madam Ambassador. Take a look. This is what these folks are. A bunch of Nimakarams, a bunch of Katahars, a bunch of Korhis. That is who and that is what they are. Right, Afraz? 19 fraud charges. 19 fraud charges, and this Paku is sitting there disguising himself as the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. All of them are a bunch of Pakus. Look at this one. The other 90 obviously has nothing better to do. Look at what he's watching. He's watching Straight Up. Someone caught him on his phone watching Straight Up on 107.1 FM. Watching Straight Up on 107.1 FM. That is what it's about. A bunch of corrupt individuals, a bunch of criminals running and ruining Guyana. And so, Madam Ambassador, I want you to be extra careful with those people that are waiting to shake your hands and to have coffee and to have mabi and to have roti and curry chicken and so forth with you. Be extra careful. I'm sure there's a thick brief already on your desk as to who is who. But as we say, the folks in Belladrum and so forth, they say, who is who? You've got to find out who is who. Do not ramp, do not sport, do not travel with those individuals. Do not fly around in their private jets. Be extra careful with who is who. I know if the ambassador is watching, she might ask, what is who? Well, somebody in the audience explained to her what is who, and who is who. Who is who? All right. So what else is happening in beautiful Guyana? What else is happening other than the fact that this individual, this is another example of a PACU. This PACU is now a regional commander, one of the districts or whatever they call, regional commander of Region 4. Another PACU who arrested a lawyer for doing her job, who arrested a former assistant commissioner of police illegally. And these are the sort of PACUs, Madam Ambassador, that the current installed regime put in positions. A bunch of PACUs. I would like to see the new ambassador, because a lot of you may not know this. There is something that's called an ambassadors club. And when these ambassadors go to Guyana, they keep associating with the same set of people. And a lot of those people that they associate with are corrupt individuals. Some of them are money launderers. Some of them are, you name it. And so this new ambassador has got to find some new friends, just like what Ambassador Bullen did. Of course, he was of African descent. Well, he wasn't the first, but Bullen was there in Guyana and he had new friends. He went outside of the box because as soon as these ambassadors get to Guyana, the usual suspects start with their get together for coffee over at this one's house, and they eat with knife and forks and so forth, and they drink coffee. And those are the ones who turn up their noses on people. Madam Ambassador, stay clear of those people. Stay clear of those who love to fly people with their private aircrafts and take them to what's the fall? Kaichor Falls. Take them in the interior. Be careful with those individuals. Be careful with where you go and eat polari. Be careful with where you go and drink swank. Be careful with where you go and eat mitai or black pudding or white pudding or plantain chips or cook up or dal and rice. Be careful, Madam Ambassador. And so here's another story when Ambassador Brent Hart was in Guyana, U.S. Ambassador. He was the one that got a rough time under the PPP. Well, they all got a rough time under the PPP. I think with the exception of Sarah Ann Lynch, who, sweetheart deal, they didn't treat her too rough. It's not like they liked her anyways. They probably appreciate her for many reasons, but it's not like they liked her. But Ambassador Brent Hart, his wife, of course, black woman. Some people like to say mix and mixed breed and these sort of things. But at the end of the day, Ambassador Brent Hart, who got a big cuss out from Priya Manik-Chan and Roger Lunchan and all these other pakus in the PPP, they had their own friends outside of the box. And so that is why the PPP never really liked him. The PPP never liked, I don't know if it's because he has a black wife. Obviously, they didn't like Ambassador Bullen because he was black. They didn't like Ambassador John Jones because he was black, and so forth and so on. So, Madam Ambassador, be careful with those usual suspects in Guyana. Be extra careful with those regular suspects in Guyana. Again, start off on a good note for all Guyanese. Let them see the fairness. Let them see, yes, you're there to protect and to ensure that you address American issues, but do not ignore the plights of the people. Do not ignore the atrocities, the racial discrimination, lots and lots of that, the political persecutions, and so forth. Lots of that. Do not ignore that, Madam Ambassador. And once you do not ignore that, we can be the best of friends. Again, I wish you all the best on your tenure there. Your first assignment as ambassador of the United States of America. Your first assignment as ambassador. You are in control now. Take full control and be very, very impartial. All right, what else is happening that we can talk about? It's already 35 minutes after 9 o'clock. We spoke about the deaths, the road accidents, and so forth. Let me see if you guys understand what this is about. If you have any idea what this is about, if you know where this stretch is, if you know this little piece of road, and how the PPP regime is discriminating against these people, how the PPP regime is discriminating against these people. I notice Colin said that it is Mexico. All right, well, tú hablas mucho español, buenas noches, right? if it's Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. How you guys know Mexico so well? Who identified Mexico? Give them a bottle of rum. Mexico? Man, you have never gone to Mexico. Aruba? Come on, I'm going to give some of you guys a donkey tonight. Aruba? Mexico? Somebody said Timeri? Somebody said this is Guyana? Somebody said the airport? Come on, you guys don't know your country. You guys don't know your country. Where exactly is this? I'm going to give you guys, the audience, where exactly this is. Come on. Could somebody say where? Airport? Y'all don't know Guyana, man. This look like the airport? This look like the airport? No, somebody's getting closer to it. Somebody said China. Okay. Mr. Primo said China. China. But no. Somebody said prison. Somebody said Little Dubai. Somebody said Jumbie Quarters. Somebody said Brick Dam. Come on, guys. You can do better. Somebody said the airport. Somebody said airport in Guyana. Where? Come on, guys. Where is this? For those of you who have been out of Guyana for a long, long time, a long, long time, where is this? It is not Hong Kong. It is not Hong Kong. I don't know where Wayne Caesar is, but wherever Wayne Caesar is, somebody message him and ask him to come and let us know where this is. Somebody said Tiger Bay. I don't know, what's it? Somebody said Tiger Bay. Somebody said Venezuela. You guys think this is nothing to laugh about? Is this a comedy show? Are you guys having fun? Somebody said Vietnam. Oh, man. Look at this. Beautiful Guyana. Billions of dollars of oil money. Billions upon billions of dollars. Warlock. What do you know about Warlock? What do you know about Warlock? Warlock. Anyways, guys, this is what the PPPC is all about. I don't know if I was actually at the airport, at the Timeri International Airport, right there, right at those spots, those little shops where we would go and stop and knock a little beer, knock a little bangs beer, knock a little Marby. For those who like Philbert Taylor and these guys who love their high wine, and Joe King love his high wine. Norman Brown loves his high wine. John C. Paul and their high wine. I'm not a high wine kind of guy. You know, I'm more sophisticated than that, guys. I like my Guinness in a plastic bag, right? So, yes, this is the airport. This is Timeri International Airport. Usually when you go and you have those nice little shops that you feel comfortable, you feel relaxed. You feel at home. You could sit by on a bench with a fowl running next to you, or a goat running, or Jack Dave or Irfan running next to you and braying, or some goat, man, like Rohi and these people. You enjoy these sort of things, right? But no, the small man and woman who have been there for quite a long time are being kicked out. Compliments of the corrupt PPP regime. They are being kicked off. They have no value, none whatsoever, no value at all. That's according to the PPP. They have no respect for these people. They have no regards for these people. And this is what I want the incoming ambassador, the incoming US ambassador to see, the treatment of people. Now, you know what they want their land for? They want to force these people out. Look at what's going on. Now, where are people going to go and buy stuff? You want them to jump the fence? You want them to bore through? But we know why they're doing this, right? We're going to get in that. Somebody found Wayne Caesar hiding in a cupboard behind this fence, right behind it, hiding in a cupboard. Thank you. Thank you, Gavin, for finding him. Gavin Caesar, that is. Thank you so much. Wayne Caesar, what is your take on this sort of segregation? As I noticed Norman Brown and others, and we say good morning to Norman. Norman ensured that he's up every single night. He doesn't go to bed until Straight Up is finished. Mr. Caesar, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Mark. Am I audible?
No, you're not audible, but we can hear you.
Oh, great. Awesome. I just want to first apologize to you and
Sorry, that's okay. Sorry that I'm sounding like critic. No, you're not audible, but we can hear you.
just want to apologize to our viewers and listeners tonight that I can't be, they can't get a picture of me tonight. I'm extremely busy, but
We
once I get the
understand
call,
that. We understand that. Let's get
to come
straight
on,
to the
I'm
wall.
going to be here. By the
Let's
way,
get straight to the wall. Talk about this wall. Talk about this segregation, sir.
well, listen, Mark, we know that, this is where this installed government was going. Listen, they're going to try to move. You see, all the poorer people that live in the Georgetown area, they are going to try to move all those people out of there. Listen, Guyana right now is priced out for the people that live there. People in Guyana cannot afford certain things in that country anymore, especially when it comes to housing and land and these things. It's the foreigners who come in and throw their money around and is able to, capture lands and all these things. And listen, Mark, this government is a flat foot hustling, um, corrupt type of business government. They're not here to do things the right way and to serve their people. And we're here pleading with the people. I hope the people are listening, man, and they're seeing what is happening here.
Look, they see this as a shame and a disgrace. It's a shame and a disgrace. In fact, this photograph was sent by Francine Cruz. Francine said, and this is somebody who believes in Guyana. Her grandchildren have a little, a little shop there that sell. They sell their stuff, sweetie and Guinness and beers and whatever it is. That when people going to the airport, that's where we go. That's where we sit down. That's where we enjoy ourselves before we jump on the plane. Now, these people make a living there, Mr. Caesar, for many, many years. And it is not now that the PPP regime, the corrupt PPP regime, they have been after these people. It's a while now they've been after these people. And they've got to stop. This here is unacceptable. They want to move these people away and give the lands and give big businesses and so forth to their friends and cronies and corrupt individuals in the private sector. The corrupt cha-chi, cha-cha, cha-choo, cha-choo. But we don't, speaking of that, we don't hear a combined opposition going after this. But as soon as something happened at us, like for example, with somebody at some school, yeah, I know Iraqi, right? I know Iraqi. I put on Iraqi on Iraqi, brother. Let me see if any one of you guys know Iraqi, brother. I've been people's Iraqis, brother, so many times. I love it. I love it when they come and they put the band in my hand. I walk around and I have it all the time because I love being somebody Iraqi, brother, right? And so this kid went to school with Iraqi on his hand, and some teacher told him that he can't get Iraqi. You got to take it off. I don't know whether it was colorful or whatever, but you got to take Iraqi off. Just like they might tell somebody who got on them big Rasta beads and the colorful beads to take it off. You're in school. I remember when I was going to school many, many, many donkey years ago. All of those things would not have been allowed. But the point that I'm making, as soon as they step to the little boy or so, take off your Iraqi, take them off, the band, the Iraqi band, take them off. All right, fair enough. We need to be consistent across the board um, with everybody's religion. We need to be consistent. A piece of time, the same PPP regime don't want people go with their hair plait and ting dong and all manner of things. But the guys in the PNC, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong here, including Mr. Caesar, they got Daniel, whatever his name is, the regional chairman. They get
Daniel Searam.
Siram. And then they get another one by the name of Gita, and 3 or 4 of them of East Indian descent within the PNC, always coming with a joint letter on issues. The first joint letter that we saw was attacking Rhonda Lane. And then there was another joint letter. And then yesterday there's another joint letter saying that they asked the child to remove the Iraqi and thing ban was wrong, and they come together with this joint letter. Now, I don't know, it seems to be a new thing now with the PNC that those who are of East Indian extraction tend to segregate themselves with these letters. But we don't hear the voices of these very individuals, for the most part, on other issues. And the reason why I mentioned that is because I want to hear their voices on this here. I want to see them going out here and protesting against this, what has happened to these people at Timeri. Protest. This is equally important, or this is important. Mr. Caesar, as you would say, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. When you look at a situation like this, right, and a government would have promised some 50,000 jobs, it's quite concerning to see that the government cannot provide jobs to people. People are going out there and trying to create opportunities for themselves, and that same government is coming in and trying to stymie the process. I mean, that this right there is a call to action. And we got to stop talking. We got to stop talking and we have to start acting. And where does the action start? It starts with the opposition and these MPs getting out there and standing with these people. That's what they're there for, to represent people like this. And you're just not seeing it. That's why, Mark, people are of the thinking that there are some in the PNC who are in cahoots. We have some rats and snakes. So we got to find a way to weed out these people. They can't stay there, Mark. Well, listen, when you take these positions to serve the people. It's either you're going to serve the people or get skipping. You understand me? We're not here to play around. And listen, these people are not going to do this. Like Mark, you talk about these letters. Come on, these are internal issues. Discuss it internally. Don't try to make out the entire party to be a party that is trying to identify themselves as a black party.
Mr. Caesar, I've never seen the PNC with this segregation kind of thing, where you have Indians within the PNC are coming out and just issue statements as a group. Some of them, you don't see these individuals, the black folks or African Guyanese in the PPP, coming out with statements as black people, so to speak. We don't see that. We don't see that. And what we have seen over the years, I mean, for quite a while now, the chairman of Region 4, Daniel Searam, is quiet on every issue. Every single issue he's quiet about. Now, when for example, I'm making this here now an issue that Daniel Searam, who is the regional chairman of Region 4, is quiet on almost every single goddamn thing that is happening. Now,
is he still the regional chairman?
If he was busy issuing statements on other things and the plight of people in Region 4 and so forth, I could understand. But look, he comes out because a student was told that they can't wear the Iraqi band to school. You ask a question, is he still regional chairman? Yeah, he's supposed to be still regional chairman. People put he in there, but he more busy. He might as well just either go either Bollywood or Nollywood and become a superstar. Make some love movie, make some love picture. Every day he star on Facebook. Love, 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 love. Now it's good to love, yeah, but he's our elected chairman of Region 10. We want to see what's happening in the region. Daniel, don't take it personal. You got to do more, my friend. Now over to you.
Yeah, but listen, Mark, across the board, I can see, a total lack of professionalism, especially when it comes to, addressing the needs and concerns of the people. Sometimes I feel the way these guys act is like if the people are non-existent, and that's why sometimes we have the feeling that the people are non-existent because they're looking for leadership and they're just not finding it. You're just not seeing it, and whenever you see it, you know, you see a little bit here and there. It's not consistent. It's not effective. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for consistent and effective leaders. We're looking for leaders that can get on the ground and empower the people. Let's go, man. Let's get going. We're within 2 years of elections. And listen, this government, this installed government could call snap elections at any time. And you have to be a prepared party. You have to be a party that is on one accord, not people bringing silly letters. Now, Mark, I don't know you look at that, but I look at that as being dumb. You understand me? And this nonsense got to stop. People are going to be called out. We're not, listen, the Guyanese people are not going to continue to stand for these substandards. You understand me? When it comes to public service and service from their political leaders, they gotta up their game, man.
They got to up their game.
Starting
52
from the
minutes,
leader mark all the way down.
fif-
Starting from the leader all the
fif-
way down. I know
50
he's doing his work, but
52 minutes after 9 o'clock. 52 minutes after 9 o'clock. Daniel Seram, regional chairman of Region 4. I made an error by saying Region 10. I don't know if the regional chairman of Linden is watching, but kudos to that young man out there in Linden, man. Kudos to that young man out there in Linden. And people are going to say, we see the regional chairman in Linden doing his job. Busy, busy, busy. But we don't see the regional chairman of Region 4, man. Oh, we don't see him. Is it a crime to call him out? He is more busy. He might as well just become a star by every minute on Facebook. Love, 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 love. Now it's good to be loved. But these guys got to understand politics. Love get its place. Love get its time. No, we all in love sometimes. We all love, yeah. But Daniel Seram, if you want star in movie, if you want talk love, love, love all the time, um, let me take a quick break, man. Dedicate this song to Daniel Seram. Dedicated to Daniel Seram. Right here on 107.1 FM.
क्या हुआ तेरा वादा वो कसम वो इरादा
Yahuwah. Tirawada, Vokasam Voyada. From the movie Help Kasike Come Nahi, right? All right. Daniel Seram, we love you, man, but you got to do more. You got to represent the people. This is not an insult. It's good to see the family bonds and every single thing because we don't see that in lots of others, right? But we also want to see you representing the people. Stand up and represent the people. Go out there and represent the people, Daniel. It's the people that put you there. They're the ones who put you there. And therefore, show some signs that you're representing them, man. All the other MPs who are lazy to show some signs. I don't know, Mr. Caesar. What would you like to see this incoming U.S. ambassador? What are some of the things you'd like to see happen when she gets there?
well, listen, Mark, when the new ambassador gets to Guyana, she wouldn't be coming, unbriefed. She would be briefed on everything. She would have a pretty good understanding of what's happening in the country, where the country stands as far as balance go, where the balance of power in the country stands, and she would, and she's coming from an operating democracy. Okay, so she would have a good opportunity to compare and contrast what is happening here and what's happening in Guyana. Right? She can draw our analysis from the intelligence that would have been given to her. So listen, Mark, she will not, at least for me, in my opinion, I will not give Nicole an opportunity, or a new ambassador, to make errors. I am not. Okay? She needs to be unbiased in nature. Of course, we know that she's here in Guyana first and foremost to satisfy the interests of the US and the US government. That's number one. But in satisfying that interest, is either she's going to stay within the scope of that, but if she's going to go outside the scope, then she needs to be unbiased in nature. Okay? Because I personally, if I find her being biased, especially in favor of that installed regime, she will be called out brutally. She
Well,
will be called out
we will
brutally.
definitely be objective in terms of
She,
reminding her of her role indeed.
thank you.
And the Honorable Ambassador Nicole Theriot is on her way to Guyana. And so, yes, indeed, she will be held accountable in every objective way, shape, or form. And so we want to wish her all the best, but we also want to remind her that there are things of which the people of Guyana expect: fairness across the board, no racial discrimination, those things have to be called out. No political persecutions, these things have to be called out as well. And so, Madam Ambassador Theriot, Nicole Theriot, we wish you all the best. As we look at the time, please, Mr. Caesar, we're looking at the accidents. 20 died in road accidents in the last 2 weeks. What's happening here, sir?
And Mark, you know what? It's going to continue until the install regime decides to do something about it. Because listen, Mark, the lawless behaviors on the roads of Guyana, start these things starts at the top with unmarked cars with sirens blazing up and down the road, and people with their race cars, and the cops can pull them over and all these things because what they're associated with people in the higher ranks of government and these types of things. You know, listen, lawlessness is lawlessness. We have lawlessness with the road, the vehicular accidents. We have a lot of gun violence across our country, you know. And there is, listen, this government, first of all, Mark, have no idea how to address these issues. That's the problem. Because what? They're not people centric. They're not focused on what's happening with the people in the country. That's the least of their concerns. This is a corrupt government that deals with a lot of corrupt business practices. Okay? So listen, it's Mark, this, we can talk how much we want to talk, but like I said, this is in the hands of the people. And my expectation is that the people will execute flawlessly come the next election cycle. That's my expectation. Anything less than that, I would not be satisfied with. Enough has happened, Mark. It's from shootings to vehicular accidents. You know, how much more? How much more within this 3+ years that this installed government has been reigning across Guyana? All we see running through our country is blood, non-stop blood, everyday blood. It's like the Guyanese people have grown accustomed to this. It's like mundane now to see these vehicular accidents across our country, and they are horrible. in nature. I was saddened, Mark, when I saw that little girl that's attending the president's college. She had so much upside and a bright future ahead of us. I mean, ahead of her. And for her life to be snuffed out like that, it is quite concerning. And to see that nobody in this installed government have not stepped up to the podium. You have that silly vice president who comes out and have his press conference every Thursday or Friday or whatever it is, talking a bundle of nonsense and is failing to address the real issues across the country. So listen, I I don't know what else to say, Mark. You know,
All right.
yeah.
So thank you so much, though. As I guess we're all feeling the same way as to we have said it all about these corrupt individuals in the PPP regime. Corrupt individuals is like everybody's asleep, even those who are in positions. Whatever happened to all of the ministers that they had before, all those who had different agencies, who were regional chairmen, who were you name it. It's like they disappear. Some jump on a plane and go back to the US enjoying their pensions and all these things. Whatever happened to the PNC groups overseas is like everybody just sleeping and peeping and just waiting for few people to just bell the cat. They're waiting on Francine Cruz to bell the cat. They're waiting on GT Root Girl to bell the cat. They're waiting on Ian Williams. And when these guys come on right here on 107.1 FM, Ingrid Carter and the entire crew, Bantu King, these are the people they're depending on to bell the cat for them. Where are most of these members of parliament? Why aren't they speaking out on issues? What about the former ministers, highty-tighty, drove around in their nice fancy vehicles? Some of them didn't give a damn about people and they gone into hiding now. Where are they? You know, like this song from some guy, a guy, and he's you folks will know him. Where are your friends now? Have they gone away? Where are these people? And then when the coalition gets back into office, not if, when, then suddenly everybody jump out from their hole or wherever they're hiding, and all of them get nice sweet positions and all things. And the people who made sacrifices, what they whole Belna, right? Belna the whole dry saltfish and Belna. I don't know, but it's about time something. And then when you talk, they're vexed. They get vexed. They feel insulted. Some of them said, jump on the bandwagon, join the bandwagon. Nobody's looking at whether the bandwagon get any proper wheels. Nobody's looking at whether the bandwagon get a proper steering wheel heading in the right direction. Is head on the head on the bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon. I recall on the quarantine, you jump on a horse cart and you throw your coconut and you jump on it, and the horse cart wheel very, very weak and you fall off and everybody fall off. So be careful when you're telling people, jump on the bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon. But right now, I want to jump off this bandwagon and go and catch some rest. But before we go, please, Mr. Caesar, briefly, as we're seeing all these things happening in Guyana, all these things, $214 million missing, corruption rampant, sugar workers crying out for justice, bauxite workers being ignored. It looks as though the only set of workers getting a little attention is in the night. And you guys know in front of where, right? The cathedral and so forth. And then the guys move their business now over by Clarence on Short Street. And from Clarence, they got in from Bishop's High School now, doing the thing. And then they cut across back on by one of those stores, the copier stores, and they got an empty lot there, and they jump over. Don't ask me how I know all of that, guys. Your closing remarks, please, Mr. Caesar. Poor Guyana, bro. Poor Guyana.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sure. Listen, Mark, when we look at politics, and let's look at it from the opposition perspective here. All right, this is not a popularity show. All right, this is, this is about execution, and when people would have signed up for these positions, they got to understand what comes with the position. When you get up in the morning, you should be thinking, what am I going to do for the people today? What am I going to say to them today? And I totally understand that many of these MPs do have their families. We all have families, but we all have job positions that we have to execute on a daily basis. And it is no different when you are a member of parliament. The expectation is even more so that you execute for the people. And from what I'm seeing from the opposition, we need to come up a little more when it comes to our execution and how we deal with the people. And also, the different factions that represent the opposition needs to come together and act as one collective. Okay, that is one of the things that is missing, Mark. Because whenever you're going to plan a protest in front of GCOM, when you want to protest in relation to the voters list, amongst other matters, you need to come together as a team and plan it, because the more individual, the more heads you have there as a collective, you could have a stronger idea, a stronger approach as to how you want to address the issue, how you want to run the protest, where you want to protest, when you want to protest, time, and all these things. Not, putting together a little sloppy thing and then you have 10 people and 5 people and all that. That's ineffective. That is ineffective. That's a waste of time. So listen, these leaders within the coalition, all of them, they need to, get themselves together and start working together as one cohesive unit. We have to remember the adversary that we are facing here. They are coming in to the 2025 elections loaded with money. They will have money to throw around. The opposition cannot say the same for themselves. They are dealing with a budget that was cut by this same dictator, PPPC,
All right.
criminal enterprise. Okay, so we got to get serious, Mark, and we got to rally the people on the ground. We have to empower the people. It's the people who determines who sits in government. Okay, it is ultimately the people who will determine this. But we have to motivate them. We have to give them hope, Mark. We cannot disappear on them. Because when you disappear on the people, what are they left with? What are they left with? A criminal enterprise that's going to continue to marginalize and abuse them. All right.
All right.
So that's it from me, Mark.
Yep. Thank you so much, Mr. Wayne Caesar. Notice to get some late comers there, but we really have to go 9 minutes after 10 o'clock. What really is there? What really is there other than a corrupt PPP regime? There's no hope in that country. Absolutely no hope in that country. Uh, they are going about the place, want to talk to people, want to talk to this, but they have no shame, none whatsoever. And they shouldn't be fooling people. The African Guyanese in the PPP in positions, they have no value. They're just basically rubber stamps. That's what they are. But we've got to go, though. Mr. Wayne Caesar, probably on vacation somewhere, doesn't want us to see where he is, locked away somewhere in the Bahamas or maybe Cayman Islands, somewhere he is. But we are nevertheless thankful for his contributions this evening on 107.1 FM. Mr. Caesar, thank you
Mark,
so much.
Mark, can I say one thing?
Quickly,
Can I
please.
say one thing? Yes, I'm not on vacation. I am satisfying my mandate right now as a public accountant. We're extremely busy. Sleep is about, 3.5 to 4 hours a day. That's what you call satisfying your mandate. Okay, you know that these things are going to happen and you have to be prepared for it. But
All right.
to all
Thank you
our
so
listeners and viewers, you guys are going to be seeing me back shortly.
All right. Wayne Caesar there for you guys, and he's fulfilling his mandate. His mandate, indeed. He is a public accountant. And what is it? Something else before we go. Somebody, regular listener, sent in their stuff, and they want to wish their mother, 82 years old, from Corriverton, 82 years old, becoming a birthday request. But, you know, she listened to us every single night. She doesn't go to bed, like everybody, every one of you. So we'll just say happy birthday to this 82. She's 82 years old, you know. Who could believe that she's 82? Look at this, 82 years old. 82 years old. 82 years old. Her name is Carlin Shepherd. So if you know her from Corriverton, tell her, look, and her family keep inboxing me stuff. Look, y'all think a lion. Look what's going on here. Look what's going on here. It's coming true. Look, she's celebrated. Look, she's sit down here and she gets her sash on and things like that. Happy birthday to you, Carlin, Miss Carlin Shepherd, Corriverton, 82 years old. And again, to all of you who sent out birthday greetings to me, those brave ones who shared it and publicly. Happy birthday, Mark. Thank you so much. The only person didn't wish me a happy birthday was Francine Cruz, but that's okay. Francine just got back her internet. And, you know, I'm the 8th and my mother is the 10th. So she celebrated, she's a young woman, still in her 50s, I believe, celebrated her birth anniversary yesterday as well. So I want to say happy birthday to my mother. She had lots and lots of fun. Every 1 hour she changing clothes, dressing up, all manner of things. Happy birthday to my mother. I can't believe I was the 8th and she's the 10th. So Virgos to the world. Virgos to the world. All right, so I've got to go now. I'll be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. Maybe I should broadcast live, or one of those guys in Guyana should go down and broadcast live from this place. Many years ago, the people were protesting, and of course, we wanted to shut the airport down, but nobody really joined us. It was just a couple of us, and that's it. And we're back to square one again. Back to square one. Got to pray for that country, or probably do more than just praying. But for now, I am Mark Benchap. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, right here on 107.1 FM. Take a look at the cane cutters. Take a look at what they're doing, standing up and fighting against the PPP regime. Injustices against those sugar workers, injustices against all the workers. I've noticed the PPP jumping now and saying that teachers, they want to do good for teachers now. A bunch of bandits in the PPP regime. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. Same place, same time.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata, Francis C. Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my X next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data. I have none.
And you're confident that you're going to deliver credible and fair elections?
Of course. Only one way I know, and that is the correct way.
What is your take on interference, direct interference of a sovereign nation, as we have been seeing with the situation there in Guyana, outside interferences, threats of sanctions, and even threatening that they are not going to respect the decision of a court? We have heard Undersecretary of the U.S. State Department saying just that in a tweet. What is your take on those sort of issues?
Well, I think that, we have to respect the sovereignty of the nations, of every nation in the world. And unfortunately, the U.S. Under the Trump administration has been corrupt on many levels. And so it's truly a travesty that those principles that we have historically adhered to as a nation are being diminished under this current administration. And, like I said, because of the way the U.S. government is structured, you have your executive branch and you have your legislative branch, and we are all equal in terms of governance. We are monitoring from the congressional side all of the various players that are either interfering or trying to put their thumbs on the scale of the elections in Guyana. And we are maintaining our position that GEOCOM must be free to do its job without the interference of any group, so that we can, from this, get a free and fair election.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Congress.
So, this is Attorney Shellen Washington, owner and founder of the Washington Law Firm, located at 455 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. We're specialized in medical malpractice, personal injuries, matrimonial law, and landlord and tenant. If you're in need of legal representation, please give us a call today. The number to call is 718-877-3100. Consultation is free at no cost to you. So call us today to see if we can be of any assistance to your legal needs. Again, the phone number to call us is 718-877-3100.